make a fabric mask, you need a piece of fabric that is 14 inches by 7.5 inches. Then on the ends, going inward, you will fold under a 1/4 inch and then another 1/4 inch so that you have, and you do that on both of the short ends. Then either by hand or by machine, you're going to stitch along the edge. So if you're doing it by hand, of course, you'll stitch it on the underside, on the bad side, and you're just going to sew down both those ends. Then you will fold down one end 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch. Let's see where everything is. So folding down by 3/4 of an inch, one end, and then you will stitch close to the edge. Again, you can do this by hand or by machine, close to the edge, and then a 1/4 inch down from that. This creates a little pocket, which then you take your twisty. I've been using these. They have a thin metal wire. You just need a metal wire and a 5-inch piece. Again, 5 inches. And you insert this into this pocket you just made, this little pocket, and you insert it into the pocket. Hard to see. Okay, you insert it in there so it's inside. Once it's inside, you then fold up the bottom half up to meet, and then you're going to stitch across to hold in. This wire is inside, so the wire's inside. This creates the nose piece, so that goes over your nose and creates a pocket. So you stitch about 5 inches just to tuck in this 5-inch piece. You're stitching both close, stitching here. You can see I've stitched down. This holds in this piece inside that pocket, so you can't see it, but it's in there. It creates the nose piece. Okay, stop there. Now you'll measure down 1.5 inches from the top. Can you zoom in? Just go closer so you really see the numbers. Okay, and then you're going to mark at 1.5, 2, 2 3/4, 3 1/4, 4 and 4.5, and do that on both sides. So you've got it on both sides, same thing. And then you're going to take the fabric, and much easier to do if you iron. So you're going to press down the bottom, and then starting from the bottom, you're going to press this and pull out your pins. Now you take the bottom one and you take it up to, well, just, this is where it gets hard. Okay. So now you're going to take that out and you're just going up to that mark. So basically you're folding on that line where you marked it. So you're taking, so basically this is going inside and that's your folding on it. And then pulling out your pen and ironing. much easier if you iron as you go along. And then you can pull that across. Then again, this line, you're going in this direction. So you have, and you can pin these as they go. This was the first one. These are called pleats. You're making pleats in your mask. And the second one is now folding over that. So it's basically a 1/2 inch pleat is what you're making. The third, so you have 3 pleats. And just stay there. Or you come over here. That's right. So here's one that's finished. So you've got your 3 pleats, ironed it down. The difference is now this should measure 4 inches. So now it's 4 inches across. And so you have, here's the top. Any more again? There's the 4. And so this is the top. You've got your pleats. And now you will stitch by hand or by machine. You will stitch across here to lock in these pleats. Do it close to the edge. So just very close to the edge. Just you're stitching across here by hand or by machine. Both sides. So you want to do both sides. Both sides so that you lock in those pleats and can take out the pins. Okay. Stop. Okay, so you have stitched your pleats right close to the edge. Now you take your binding pieces and you center them. So you center, and then you will fold the edges over and pin it. So you just need a pin on both sides. Now again, you can either hand stitch or machine stitch with a sewing machine. Either one are fine. So now you are going to sew along this edge, and you want to stay just close to the edge. So once you do that, it will look like, and then so here I have sewn it along the edge, and then you pull it up, and then iron it down so it's smooth, turn it over. Then you will fold this over. Now then you're going to fold the top half over and fold the ends in, and then go over this line you sewed, and then you will stitch along this edge. So here's one that is done. So I pulled it over and I have sewed both. So this is the new sew. Both ends are done. So this is now the finished mask. Now you need a string. If you're making your own, you cut a long piece. So this is let's see, we'll do it in inches. It's an inch. Are you zeroing it? It should be just about an inch and a quarter, inch and an eighth. If it's centimeters, 3 centimeters, and about 44 centimeters long. You have this long strip. Then you fold first you tuck in the end, you fold it in the end in, then both sides into the middle, both sides into the middle. You can see there are 2 sides here. There's 1, 2, fold, fold, and then do again. This works way easier with a iron so that you have a long strip, and now you will stitch up the middle, and this is what it looks like. So this is where it has been stitched all the way up. So you're making your own ribbon. Then you put a safety pin in one end, and this is the top, the nose piece. So you want to go from the top down, thread it through so that it comes through. You're just putting it through. And then you go up the other side, up the other side. Now, so that they don't come through, you want to be sure to double knot the ends, and then you can put on your mask. Okay, stop. So to put on the mask, here's your mask, is you take the bottom, so this is the top, it has the nose piece, and you take the bottom half and you put it over your head, under your hair if you have hair, and then you pull it up. You have to adjust to make it a little smaller. Most people prefer ties than over the ear elastic. It's just more comfortable, and then you just tie it behind your head. And I like to, where is it here? Oh, it's, yeah, there it is. Okay. So then you have the little nose piece you can scrunch, and it has the pleats, so you can pull it so it pulls kind of under, and there you go. Why not?